Hi Mossville. If you recognize this video from yesterday, you get an A plus for being so observant. I'm playing it again because my wife viewed this video after I had recorded it and posted it, and I noticed something in it. Look at the angelfish at the very top, and look what he's doing. He's just picking the daylights out of another angelfish. It makes me wonder why angelfish got the name angelfish. They're not living up to their names, or at least one or two of them aren't. They're kind of betraying their names. Ever think about names not being suitable? Maybe they were suitable one time, but not at another. How the bald guy in church is named Harry. How the fat guy in church is named Skinny. How the obese person is named Tiny. In the scriptures, there are names that do fit because they are meaningful and oftentimes God-given or Jesus-given, like Paul to Saul, or Simon to Peter, or Abram to Abraham, or Jacob to Israel. I like the story of Alexander the Great. There was a young man in his kingdom who was caught stealing and lying, and is brought before the great Alexander. Alexander listened to his story and said, "Son, what is your name?" And very much in a frightening timbre, scared to death, he quivered out, "Alexander." Alexander the Great said, "What is your name?" The boy said, "Alexander, sir." Third time. This time he stood to his feet, and Alexander the Great shouted to him, "What is your name?" "Alexander, sir." At that point, he physically lifted up the boy and threw him to the ground and pointed him and said directly, "Either change your behavior or change your name." So it is with we Christians, isn't it? It says in Acts 11:25 that when Barnabas went to Tarsus to look for Saul, and when he found him, he brought him to Antioch. So it was for an entire year they associated with the church and taught many great people. And it was in Antioch that the disciples were first called Christians. Oftentimes, I think my behavior is not suitable to be called Christian. Christian meaning little Christ or Christ-like, or being a disciple of Jesus. I'm just afraid someday that God's going to lift me up, throw me to the ground and say, "Christian, either change your behavior or change your name." Well, that may not be very comforting in this time. Not all these messages will be. But it gives us something to think about today. How is our behavior? How are we acting, and how are we reacting to the situation that we find ourselves in? Maybe a mantra should come to you as well as to me. Catching ourselves just behaving like everybody else does. Behaving like the world does. Or maybe we should change our behavior or change our name. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.